Hi, this is Mrs. May again. We are going to be talking about integers and absolute value today. So if you can make sure that you take out your notebooks and be ready to take a few notes. With a vocabulary word integer, which means a whole number, we are going to be looking at this number line to see what types of integers we have. As you can see across the top, we have a negative integers and we have positive integers. Notice these are all whole numbers. We don't have any decimals, any fractions with these. The numbers to the left of 0 are less than 0. They have a negative symbol in front of them. 0 is neither negative nor positive. It's neutral. And then the numbers to the right of 0 are greater than 0. And notice you could have a positive symbol in front, but we just typically leave them empty. They don't have a negative sign in front. So we can assume that they are a positive number. Also, just to remind yourselves of some inequality symbols, it's a sentence that compares two different quantities, whether they be less than, equal to, greater than. So you might want to take a minute to pause this video just to write these down in case you have forgotten what each symbol means. We're going to do a little practice making some true sentences. So we've got -4 and 3. So if you want to write that down and take a guess at what you think the correct symbol is, if you guessed the less than, you are correct. We should be able to drag that down here. We've got -4 is less than 3, and that is how that number sentence is read. Now we have -10, -12. Think about how far -10 and -12 are from 0. Which one would be greater? Which one would be less than? If you guessed that greater than, you are correct. -10 is greater than -12. Similar example problems we have here, we have 7 and -7. And if you guess 7 is greater than -7, that is correct. And we have these funny little symbols on this problem right here. We've got -13 and we've got -6. They're inside these brackets. And the brackets that I'm talking about are right here, those little brackets. Those are what's called absolute value signs. So when we're looking at absolute value signs, what we're talking about is what is the value of the number inside without the negative sign. How far away is that number from 0? And if you think of -13 is 13 spaces away from 0. -6 would be 6 spaces away from 0. So as we're looking at this problem of the absolute value of -13 and the absolute value of -6, 13 is higher or greater than 6. So therefore, the correct answer for this one would be the greater than sign. An absolute value of -13 is greater than the absolute value of -6. So doing some practice here, we've got ordering of integers. We have a set of 3, 0, -5, 1, and 4. And this exercise says to order them from least to greatest. Always make sure that you're reading the directions. Here it says least to greatest. So we want to make sure that we're starting out with the smallest number. So as we're looking at number 1, the smallest number in this set would be -5. And then the next smallest number would be 0, and then 1, 3, and 4. If you want, you can pause the video here and try problem number 2 and see if you can order them from least to greatest. In this data set, we have -6, -8, 3, -1, -4. The smallest value in this data set is -8. And then we have -6, -4, -1, and 3. Got those correct? One more time, we're going to be looking at absolute value. And again, that's the distance away from zero on a number line, or if you think of it, the distance away from zero. So the very first one we have here is the absolute value of 10. And so if we were to put that on the number line, it would be located right here, the absolute value of 10. The absolute value of -8 is not down here. Remember, absolute value is how far away from zero is it? Well, -8 is 8 places away from zero. So we think of it as a positive 8 when we're talking about the negative value or the absolute value of -8. Now, notice there's a little bit of a difference on this last sample. The negative sign is on the outside of the absolute value symbol. So we have the absolute value of 3, which is 3, and then it has that negative sign on the outside instead of on the inside like we had over here. So because it's on the outside, we would put that at -3 on the number line. That's really all I have for you as far as looking at integers and absolute value. For tomorrow or for the next time we get together, I want you to do some practice problems. Notice I have some variables that are represented by some integers. We've got evaluating expression when a is equal to -6, b is equal to 4, and c is equal to 5. So I want you to give this a try. Make sure you're paying attention to the absolute value symbols. And when you come in next time, we will look at the answers here. Just really quickly, I want to review on number 18, when you've got 2 with the absolute value A on the inside of that, that means 2 times the absolute value of A. On number 17, it says the absolute value of 3B. That means the absolute value of 3 times B. So when you see these two things together, when you've got a number and you've got a variable right next to it, it means to multiply. So number 19 here would be read the absolute value of 2 times B plus C. So good luck with your assignment, and I will see you next time.